Aloha all, and welcome back to Let's Play Sly 2 Band of Thieves. I am Paper Mario Guy. Almost said Sly 3, but we're not close to Sly 3 yet. We still have a good solid few chapters left to go on this, and then, you know, a little bit of a break after Sly 2's done, you know, before I do Sly 3. I definitely like to span out my series. You know, I like to take about a... with the exception of Mega Man X, I usually like to take about a year off from doing another game in the series. I feel like it would definitely get, you know, very stale and boring to watch the same series for 2-3 games in a row. I feel like one and then a little break is nice, because it gives me time to explore other things, and I don't know, that's just the way that I like to do it. And that's a bear, so we're not going to go over by that bear, because bears are vicious. As cute as bears are, they are fucking evil. I seriously don't understand how, like, such a cute and adorable creature can be so angry and hostile, but they are.
Okay, Sly, we need to break into the Iron Horse trades, but the only way in, through the caboose, is locked. To blow the locks off, you'll need to collect the ultra-unstable, denatured spice gas from those balloons floating above town.
How am I supposed to get up there to collect the spice gas?
Murray's already commandeered this ice plane. Jump on its strut, and he'll fly you up to a good paragliding altitude. Oh, and strap on a special vacuum backpack. It'll automatically collect the spice gas after you've popped a balloon.
Sounds like fun.
Once you've collected enough gas, you'll have to land directly on the train's caboose.
Why directly on the caboose?
Denatured spice gas is very unstable at lower altitudes. Unless you land on the caboose, you won't have time to get the gas tank to the lock before it blows up.
So you're saying I either land on the caboose or get blown to bits?
That's correct. Chemistry can be a harsh mistress.
Indeed it can. But it can also add a new, fresh type of mission to Sly 2's rigid formula. Not saying that, you know, everything is the same, but there's a lot of, you know, generic thieving type thing that you do quite a bit. You know, how many times at this point have we pickpocketed, you know, to unlock keys, and how many times have we done, you know, the same type of thing? So, you know, this is nice. I particularly enjoy this. I think it's quite, you know, a different mission. A little slow because you have to do it 3 times, but, you know, still enjoyable. Now, something to know about this, what really sucks and what happens sometimes is that you will overshoot a balloon or something like that, and then you'll be, you know, basically shit out of luck. You won't really have an opportunity to try again. So definitely employ the slowdown feature of the thing. By holding back on the left analog stick, you'll go at a much slower pace, and you'll fall more slowly. So make sure that, like, you go slowly and you kind of, like, figure out where you're gonna go. If you hold up on the left analog stick, you'll do the reverse. You'll go a little bit faster. So make sure that everything is, you know, very calculated and not like that, because then you'll die and you'll just have to do it over again. So this mission can be very, very long. This is probably going to take up the entire video, and I hate to say it, but that's just, you know, the nature of this mission. Come on, hit the balloon. Oh, no. Alright, well, maybe I can still get this. Yeah, there we go. What you can also do is, if you're, like, really running out of time, and you don't think that you're gonna hit a balloon in time, like right now I'm basically screwed. So I'm just gonna drop down because this is gonna explode, and that's what I need. If you miss a balloon, like, just drop and restart, because there's no sense in waiting around to, you know, fall to your death and lose. But I don't know, I find this to be a very interesting mission, but you just need to know how to work the controls correctly, and also have some decent timing. Timing is key, you know, because it's really frustrating, like, and you'll see, I mean, I'll probably screw up, you know, at least one more time, and, you know, if I do that, then I'll probably cut, you know, wherever I'm at. But, you know, it gets really frustrating, you know, if you are, you know, maneuvering, and you think that, you know, you're gonna get everything, and then you accidentally, you know, miss, and it's just like, so you have to, you know, you go around and you hit these 5 balloons, and then you miss, and now you have to do it again. Another thing that you could do is employ the same exact tactic that I did for, you know... Oh no! Shit! Screwed up again. Employ the same tactic that I'm advising for you to maneuver around the balloons more easily. You know, if you're hovering over it and you think you're gonna miss, just drop down to it, and then when you hit, you know, and then use your parachute to, you know, safely get back up. That's my best bet to you, and that's the best way that you're gonna be able to get onto the, you know, the cabooses. So keep that in mind when you're doing this, because you're gonna get that little boost, and it'll make things go a little bit quicker. So we're gonna glide over to this one, and then now we're gonna be good. So I see the caboose that we're definitely gonna try to land on. So let's slow down. I'd say that the best way to do this is to get behind the train that you're currently going for. Eek, this is cutting it close. Yeah, there you go. Get behind the train that you're going for, and then use the up analog stick to move yourself forward. That's so much easier to do, because that way you know exactly where it is, or get at least, you know, only one car, or one train, you know, behind, or in front of the caboose, and that will make it easier too. So we have to do this 2 more times now. So, in the meantime, I figured I would talk about something, you know, kind of interesting, you know. I've been, thinking about, you know, games and movies and, you know, like, what's my favorite and everything. And, I really, like most people do, I really adore, the, you know, Disney and Pixar movies. And I wanted to ask a question to you guys, the viewers, something I'm very interested in. Is what do you guys think is the most underrated Pixar movie? Yeah. I mean, I think there's 12 Pixar movies out at this point, and I think that new movie Brave is coming out, so it actually ties in very nicely. I didn't even mean for it to. But what do you guys think is the most underrated Pixar movie? Because I personally think that it is, without a doubt, The Incredibles. I love The Incredibles so much. It is easily my, well, it's not easily my favorite Pixar movie, because the original Toy Story is my favorite Pixar movie. But it's easily my second favorite Pixar movie, and I absolutely adore it. And I feel like it is totally underrated in terms of Pixar movies. And I don't know, I love The Incredibles so much. One of my favorite lines, easily, from it is, honey, where is my super suit? From Frozone. Me and my friends quote that, like, all the time. And I don't know, I just love the Incredibles, and I think it's awesome. And I was curious to see, you know, what is your most underrated, you know, Pixar/Disney movie? Because even though The Incredibles is, you know, a Pixar movie, so, you know, thus very popular, I still think that it should be much more popular than it actually is. Believe it or not, you know, if a Pixar movie can get any more popular. But that's, honestly, that would be my choice. Alright, so we're going to try to get down a little bit closer, and we're going to slow ourselves down, and I think we're definitely good for this one. Yeah, that one was fine. So, we had a few mishaps, but now all the hatches are open, and we can get at all the iron horses, and that's wonderful.
All the iron horse trains are unlocked.
And that actually was shorter than last episode's mission, which I did not think was going to happen at all. But that's, A-okay by me. So we definitely have time for another mission. So we're going to go check out what's going on. I do believe that we have to go as Bentley at this point. Yeah, ride the Iron Horse. Wonderful. Wunderbar. But yeah, I don't know. Something that just definitely, struck my interest. Because I know that everybody loves Pixar and Disney movies, and everybody has a favorite. And I just was wondering what everybody's, favorite underrated one was. Mine is, like I said, The Incredibles. And I think that if I am including Disney movies too, the animated version of Robin Hood is, fantastic. It's so good. And I feel like that's really, really underrated too. Like, it's nowhere close to, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Monsters, Inc. type status, Nowhere even close. But I think it definitely could be up there. That's definitely one of my favorite, pieces of nostalgia from when I was little. I watched that all the time. I loved it.
According to this timetable, Iron Horse number 1 should be passing by any time now.
I see. It's moving awfully fast.
Just jump on the caboose and go in through the hatch. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake to you, Sly, but maybe not to a scared little turtle like Bentley. But I like to jump from, cart to cart. And then when you get on the final one. But yeah, actually, thinking about it, Robin Hood in that animated feature is very much like Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper is very much like Robin Hood, actually, if we're saying it in chronological order. But what I also, now that we're in the Iron Horse, I actually think that this is the perfect time to bring up another aspect of Chapter 6 that I like. With all the other chapters, you got everything at the end. There was, always that one object to, really go for. And in, Chapter 6, you actually have some gratification, earlier than just the end, It's not like everything is, Oh, no, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Don't go off the edge. Wait, there is don't I have a bomb? Yeah, I do have the trigger bomb. See if I can throw that. Alright, well that did not work the way that I thought it was going to. But let's try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. The trigger bomb is actually pretty cool. It's like a grenade. But, yeah, I love that Robin Hood movie. I can't even get into it. But what I was just getting into with this is that it's a progress. It's not like you're just working for one thing. You actually get to achieve some success as you go through, and that's so nice. Rather than just working and working and working for one payday, you get paydays throughout, and I think that's pretty awesome. Alright, I gotta put you to sleep. Sorry, Mr. Gruff Geese, or whatever it is. I think it's Gruff Geese, or something like that. But I really like that aspect of it. I think it adds to the pacing, definitely. And this is gonna be fun. He has no idea where that came from. Oh, come on. Awesome. This is pretty cool, actually. I've never really employed this before. Oh, man. Just barely missed it. This is actually a lot of fun to use. Oh, and then I fall off the train. Oh, no, I don't fall off the train. How about that? Oh, but I might have glitched. Oh, yeah, I did glitch, but I got out of the glitch. Or am I right back into the glitch? No? Alright, well, there we go. I don't know what just happened, but I'm not gonna question it. But anyway, and this is also very fun. This is, straight up platforming at its finest, making our way through the train. We're gonna have to do this later, and they, freshen it up a little bit. later on. It's not just the same exact platforming over and over again, which is nice, because I think it would have been pretty insulting if they had us do the same exact thing, 3 times in a row. But thankfully they did not. So I'm going to drop this one down here. Oh, that did not work as well as I thought it was going to. That's fine, because we have this trigger bomb, and the trigger bombs are actually awesome. I love this trigger bomb. That's so good. It's so useful. And here we go. Beautiful, beautiful lung number 1.
Outstanding. Chalk up 1 strange robot organ for us, and 1 less iron horse trade for John Bison.
And that is absolutely wonderful.
Things are going great. We've already stolen 1 of Jean Bison's 3 Clockwerk parts. However, Iron Horse 2 and 3 are going to be a little tougher to crack. First, I'll need to hop aboard Iron Horse 2 and do a little preemptive RC chopper strike to clear out the air defenses. Once cleared, it'll be up to Sly to work his magic in the interior to get at that second Clockwerk lung. Murray, you'll need to trap some of the local bear cubs in order to unlock a nearby ham car. We're gonna need it to catch up with Iron Horse number 3. But don't worry, the cubs won't be hurt. Although I can't say the same for the guards.
So by stealing Jean Bison's wonderful Clockwerk parts, we're adding to our arsenal, and we're also stopping spice trade. Delivery. I don't know how you say it. I'm confused right now. But it doesn't really matter. So that is actually really awesome and very gratifying to me. We have 1/3 of the Clockwerk parts in Jean Bison's Iron Horses, and that's wonderful. But that unfortunately does it for this episode, so I am Paper Mario Guy of the KoopaNinjaBros. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in part 4.